One person is recovering in the hospital after another drive-by shooting last night in Gainesville.
It's the latest in a string of shootings in the city. Two of the suspected gunmen are in custody. TV3's Emma Delamo joins us live. And Emma, should residents be worried?
Gainesville police officers tell me they have evidence to believe that Monday and Tuesday's shootings were related and targeted. Officers responded to reports of gunshots around 10 p.m. last night in a neighborhood on Northeast 23rd Avenue. One person was taken to the hospital. He told police someone inside a white car was shooting at him. Officers found that car and found bullet holes they believe had come from inside the vehicle. They arrested 18-year-old Jacquez Hill and 19-year-old Terrex Thagard after they claimed custody of the car. They were charged with one count of attempted murder. People in the area say the gun violence affects more than just the victim.
His mothers, his fathers, his kids, his people, his loved ones, and that really hurts not only the family, the community, but people that has to see this and just witness this.
Police responded to a drive-by shooting on Northeast 15th Street Monday night. They say the gunman and victim knew each other. They also responded to two separate shootings on Easter in downtown Gainesville. And right now, only last night's suspects have been arrested. Reporting live in Gainesville, Emma Delamo, TV 20 News.